What do YouTube? It's the real X Dog here. WWE
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
in the books, October 22nd. First thing first, I want to get this out the way. For Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, possibly anyone else in the locker room that was infected with the mumps, I hope they all get well soon. Injuries and illnesses and stuff like that, I mean, that really puts a hamper on folks' entertainment, and then on their side, their careers and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys get well soon, and nobody else in the locker room comes down with that illness. On to the show itself. Overall, I mean, this is a great pay-per-view for me. I'm hesitant to say pay-per-view of the year for me as well. And I mean, some of it could be attributed to Prisoner of the Moment. But my score is, for this pay-per-view, a 9.7. Could have been a 9.9, but you put Sasha Banks on the pre-show. You don't put the legit boss, Sasha Banks, on the pre-show. That knocked some points down for me. But what kept it from being a 9.5 or a 9 because of Sasha Banks on the pre-show, there was no Brock Lesnar. So there was no Brock Lesnar fulfilling his contractual obligations. So there was no farce of a main event because of, hey, we got to fulfill contractual obligations here. So since I ain't had to deal with that crap, the pay-per-view got a plus for that. But on to the matches that I will say something about for this instead of real wrestling. Asuka versus Emma, I mean, I just assume, like a lot of people, that Asuka might kill this girl. That this girl up here won a match to her execution. I mean, she had to win a match to fight Asuka. I mean, that's like you fighting in a tournament just to say, hey, whoever wins the tournament, you're going to the gas chambers. That's what this is. But how WWE does things, especially with NXT's main roster, NXT, despite what a lot of IWC and Smart's view about it, is still to WWE developmental. It's the small time. WWE main roster is the big leagues. Emma got a lot more offense than I'm pretty sure a lot of folks expected, but Emma still looked legit. Emma still lost. Asuka looked like a legit beast, like she's supposed to be. And like the feud will continue, which so far was entertaining to me. So I am glad for that. So kudos to WWE for that. You didn't bury Emma and you didn't make Asuka look weak. Unfortunately, Asuka didn't lose either. For the undefeated streak, I think it was Diakis who said he's tired of these streaks. I might be talking about the wrong person, but I think it was Diakis. I agree, especially in this case, an undefeated streak. It just doesn't really carry over that well anymore in this generation. Back in the day where fans were less connected with the show, where kayfabe were much stronger with the audience, that would make perfect sense and that would be great. Today it's just fans tend to start stinging up who's gonna beat her, who deserves to beat her, all types of stuff that fans should not, in my opinion, be concerned about. That's for the backstage stuff. As far as I'm concerned, the deserve to win, who didn't deserve to win, like, no, it's whatever is the most entertaining on screen. If it's supposed to be Alicia Fox, if she's gonna be the most entertaining one that wins, who beats Asuka and ends her streak and becomes a women's champion, Raw women's champion, so be it. It just is what it is. It's about what's most entertaining on the screen, not who the fans believe is the most talented or stuff like that. Because we seen fan bookings blow their load up here within 3 months. We move on to Finn Balor, AJ Styles. That was a great match. And I mean, kudos to AJ Styles as well. I mean, to fly, 5 hours to event for a match on the fly. Fortunately, I mean, him and Finn Balor should be familiar with each other. So that wasn't the problem. So that was a great match as well. So that overtook Asuka and Emma for my match of the night. And then they did Too Sweet in the middle of the ring. The social media response just proves really how Smarks really view Vince McMahon. I mean, most of the comments were Vince McMahon had them too sweet just to throw a middle finger up to the Bullet Club. And AJ Styles responded on Twitter saying Vince had no say-so in that. He remembers where he came from. So AJ Styles up here, in this case, just tribute to the Bullet Club. This is not Vince McMahon pettiness, as most of the social media response was. And I mean, most of the Reddit comments were like, oh, Vince McMahon chose them two just for them too sweet as a middle finger to the Young Bucks. And it just really shows that, like Hulk Hogan said this in a tweet several years ago, don't work yourselves into a shoot, brother. It was a great match. I said, first, to that point, it was my match of the night. Then we go to the main event. And this, I gotta say, to me, this match is what made me like professional wrestling as a kid. They did some of everything. This match was up, down, inside out, right, left, whatever, going around in circles, counterclockwise, clockwise. It didn't matter. Something happened everywhere. First of all, Miz and Hill came out. You got 5-on-3. You know this finna be a beating because you got Braun Strowman and Kane. And we go to the Shield coming out, and we were wondering, like, Kurt Angle just gonna come out in his own. He's gonna come out in his own, whatever it's called. But he gonna come out there, or he gonna be wearing Shield gear. He comes out in Roman's spot in the Shield gear, looking like the goofy dad that he is. And that was an amazing spot. And of course, for me, the only slop about that is I'm not sure who the producer is who handles this. Because folks love blaming that bucktooth guy, Kevin Dunn, but somebody explain what his actual role is. He's not in charge of that. So whoever's in charge of the music, or why did Vince screw this up, I don't know. They played the Roman remix with the Shield radio intro. So they come out there. I mean, I don't care, but they came out there, handled their business, did the Shield intro. Kurt Angle played Roman's part great. The Shield, Seth Rollins sacrificed himself. Then he had the beating. The chair spots came in, and they're treating Kurt Angle with kid gloves most of the match. I mean, most of the spots on Kurt Angle, they were careful about his neck and back and all that kind of stuff. So they were careful with that. And this where I'll say about the D-Bry part, about, they let Kurt compete, but D-Bry can't. Kurt really didn't do much competing. He just brawled and nailed his spots. And then spent half the match in the locker room, came back, hit spots, landed Shield powerbomb. D-Bry probably wouldn't be going for that. That was not even competing. He just came out there just to keep the crowd hyped up, really. But I mean, they booked this so perfect. I mean, the beating, they were tugging on the crowd like they're watching the Shield get dismantled. They were on the announce team was selling this amazing. They did a great job all the way through here. And we seen the man get murdered. We seen betrayals. We seen double betrayals. I mean, this match had some of everything. I mean, I love the fuck out of this match. This match was my match of the night. I can't go as far as say it's the match of the year for me, but I mean, it is strong. Maybe next week I'll probably feel different, but that is strong for me, how good that match was. To get to the end of this, so they hit the Shield powerbomb, and they play the Shield theme. And how you can tell, when it does the breakdown, Roman's theme plays electric guitar. The Shield theme does that little heartbeat echo, or folks call it a little helicopter beat. That's the breakdown part. It had that little helicopter beat or heartbeat echo in it. That's the Shield thing. Why they play the Shield thing there and use Roman's remix as the intro, I had no idea. Though I don't know who's producing this. But regardless, great pay-per-view. To end this all, I'll say this. Kudos to Vince McMahon for this. And the writers. Vince, like I said, the buck stopped with Vince. I mean, first of all, Vince McMahon put the grapefruits on the table. He put his balls on the table and wrote and just called a masterpiece of a show, especially the main event. Because he took a dumpster fire and turned it into treasure. Took a dumpster fire, extinguished it, shined it up, gave it some new paint, and turned it into a treasure chest. That's basically what happened with this pay-per-view. Because this should have been a complete and utter disaster leading into the pay-per-view like that. But they did it. They made it great. Kudos to Vince. And whenever we get booked for Real Wrestling, I will see how the Real Wrestling crew takes it. I already seen Diaka's review, so that leaves the rest of the Real Wrestling crew to get their opinions. But this is the Real X-Dog of the Real Wrestling crew, and I'm out. Peace.